Ahoy there, I'm Tiny Pirate, and welcome to another Rust build video. Today we're going to be looking at starter shacks, and I'm going to review the kinds of shacks you can build for under 3,000 stone, which I think is a pretty good starting point for a solo player. Now, my guiding principle with this review is that all the shacks that we build need to have an airlock and room for at least one bag inside. And I'm also going to do some maths. I'm going to get all technical on this. I'm gonna have a look at the storage, and I'm going to figure out the ratio of storage slots to stone. Yeah, that kind of thing. So we're going to see which is the most efficient starter shack to build. Now, in Rust, these get called shacks, but I'm not going to say the word shack very often because I'm going to have to keep bleeping it out. So the first base we're going to look at is a standard 1x1 starter shack. Now, I know that it doesn't have an airlock, but so many people build these things, I thought it would be great just to talk about it and how they're usually laid out. So I'm not going to bother putting a door on, you get the idea here. So without the tool cupboard, doors, and accoutrements of the base, you're looking at, 260 wood and 1560 stone. Not exactly a lot of storage and not much safety, and it means you end up with a ratio of 28 stone per storage slot, which isn't terribly efficient as far as these things go. The next base we want to look at is a 1 by what I call, a 1.5, which is very, very common starter base that a lot of people build. It is pretty straightforward. Doors are usually left or right if you can immediately get to two doors due to the way they block, left if you want to have one and kind of guarantee that people can't get into your base very easily. And again, same basic setup. The only difference with a 1 and a 1.5 is you can afford to put your sleeping bag in an airlock. I know that a lot of people don't like this, but you know what, I don't mind too much myself, so I'm going to build a few times with that build style. I will say that if you are someone who does this, you pretty much want to have a sleeping bag nearby in a bush, just in case someone gets into your airlock and smashes up your sleeping bag after killing you, which would be depressing. All up, this 1 by 1.5 is going to set you back about 382 wood, 2,295 stone. It comes with 78 slots of storage, which gives you a stone to storage ratio of 29:1. Still not that brilliant, and not really any better than the 1x1, except for safety, which I guess matters. Now we're going to look at a design I don't see very often, but can be quite effective, and that is 3 triangles in a row like this. You will want to put an airlock on it. You can get a lot more storage without, but you will face, of course, some issues with dying. So 3 triangles are pretty cheap together, and in terms of laying out the insides, this is pretty much what I like to do. So I try and choose the long wall, which is this one over here, and get this guy tucked right in, nice and close. From there, I can usually get a furnace over here. It can be a little difficult to stack the boxes in here that you'll want to produce the most storage. What I have found is, first of all, get to the back of the room and just nudge this in as hard as you can. Get your low wall up and make sure it's a wood one. I think boxes stack a little easier on them. There you go, there's the second box. You want to be pretty careful with your sleeping bag if you are going to place it in the airlock. You don't want it to go over the edge of the door, that should be fine. And then fitting in a small box, it can be very difficult. In this case, I don't seem to be able to do it. I have been able to do it in the past, so your mileage may vary with that one. So for these 3 triangles, you're looking at a total of 406 wood, 2,445 stone, a maximum of 72 slots for storage, which isn't too bad, and a build ratio of 33 stone per slot. So it's not actually that amazing. I think you can do better with a straight 1 by 1.5. The next base we're going to look at is 4 simple triangles. Now I'm just going to delete the middle triangle here. You don't need to do that yourself. You could leave it as twig, which makes it quite cheap, or is one of the factors which helps make this quite a cheap base. But it does mean that your base will be potentially, well, someone could come outside and pick away at the corners of your twig base, and if you put anything on it, it might get destroyed. This one can be quite deceptively powerful for storing a lot of stuff in it due to the way you can use shelves. Now, of course, you're not going to go straight for a shelf. You're going to want to have a furnace down here, for example, and maybe a small box here. And you're going to want to smelt yourself up metal for perhaps your code locks if you haven't already got it from a recycler. When it comes time to place your shelves, try and keep them as snug to the right and the center as possible. So you don't want to push them too far into the left corner, or you will have a harder time fitting them in. So I'm going to go with the shelves there now, and then I'm going to try and fit these boxes in any way I can. I might start with this one here, get it over as far as I can, get this one in. Can I get that in? And then up here I'll do the same. There's one, and one more. I saw it. Alright, so there's 4 boxes in here and a furnace, all of them very accessible. Probably a good idea to throw a roof on this bad boy, and then we can count up the damage. According to Fortify, which is a great rust build tool you can find on Steam, the total cost of this base is 493 wood and 2,670 stone. With a total of 120 slots of storage, this bad boy is giving you a ratio of 22 slots per stone, which is pretty good. This is currently the most efficient base of all of these, at a slightly increased cost over a regular 1x1.5. The next base we'll look at is a simple 2x1, which is probably one of the most common starter bases you see, next to the standard 1x1.5. I really hate this base because it's just so terribly inefficient. We're going to go with the standard layout that we've already seen before, so I'm going to whiz through that and we'll talk about the build at the end. So just like in the other 1x1 type builds, we do have a total of about 78 slots, and the only real advantage of this base has is that we can easily fit 3 sleeping bags in. So for you and your buddies, that's great, but I'm pretty sure that 78 slots will go really fast, and that you could do a lot better with a slightly different base. Total cost of this 2x1 is 470 wood, 2,820 stone, and with 78 slots, that gives you a really terrible value ratio of 36 stone per slot. So far, the worst of the builds. The final build we're going to look at in this sub 3000 review is this 1x2 halves. So I'm going to chuck this in like this. You can see that, 2 triangles, and then throw some walls up all the way around here and an airlock here. As per usual, roof, and so on and so forth. Once you've got your cupboard down, you want to throw in your first forge. There are 2 ways that you can build this base. One of them is more efficient than the other in terms of storage, so I'm going to show you that. But once you've got a forge down, you could optionally put a forge here. I'm just going to show you it quickly. You could, where are you, forge? You could put a forge there, and then you can put, I might just do it, be simpler. Put a forge there, and then you can put large boxes, one here, one, come here you, one here, get your low wall and stick it like that, and put another box on top. This will give you obviously 2 forges, but less storage. There is a way you can get more storage space. There we go. So that would be one way of doing it, but the other way is to use shelves. And once you've got your single box here and your forge going, shelves are not too far away. They're only 50 metal. So again, like in the 4 triangles, you want to get your shelves in. And this can be really tricky, because you want to get them where you can really see them pretty well from the door, otherwise you won't be able to place. So there they are, snug against the TC. I'm going to come under here and sneak in to get the box as far away from this wall as I can. I think that works okay. Second box like that. One way you can get this box in is to just go to the doorway and try and sneak as far left as you can while holding the box, and then just try and make sure it sits as far back as possible. And then this box should be able to come in here Damn you, box, you have defeated me. I've tried for a while, so I'm just going to put a small box in there instead. If you do manage to get all 4 large boxes in here and a small one, you're looking at a total of 132 storage slots for the cost of 495 wood and 2,970 stone. That gives you a total efficiency of 22 storage slots per stone, which is on par with the 4 triangles and the shelves in that. So that brings us to the end of the under 3,000 stone starter shack bonanza. I hope you found these 6 designs interesting, and I hope they've given you some ideas and food for thought as well. In the comments below, it'd be great if you could let me know what your favorite design is, why you think it might be the best, and if you've got any others that you prefer, especially in the sub 3,000 range. Of course, these would be very easy to raid, so I expect lots of you to be telling me it's only 2C4 to the TC. I know that, these are starter shacks, they're designed to get you through the first day. If you've enjoyed this video, let me know. I'm thinking of doing another review of the shacks that are in the sort of 3 to 6 or 7,000 range for the clans or for the duo trio players. If that's something that interests you, tell me, and I'll go out and do some research and find all the options for you. I hope you'll stick around for more Rust videos and for the other interesting content I throw up on the channel. Until next time, I've been Tiny Pirate. Thanks for watching. Good night.